Today, we're back taking a look into a hypothetical yet intriguing topic. What if the US and Russia went to war? Who would win? This question isn't just about military might. It involves strategy, geography, and a host of other factors because when two elephants fight, the ground suffers. Let's break it down in a detailed and engaging way, looking at different aspects such as military capabilities, geopolitical implications, and potential outcomes. By the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of how such a conflict could unfold and why it might end in a stalemate. Let's get started. Military capabilities. First, let's compare the military capabilities of the US and Russia. Both nations are among the top military powers in the world, but they have different strengths and weaknesses. 1. Air power. The US has a significant advantage in air power. With more combat aircraft, advanced technology, and superior training, the US Air Force is a formidable force. American aircraft like the F-35 Lightning II and F-22 Raptor are among the most advanced in the world, providing the US with air superiority. Example: the F-22 Raptor, for instance, is known for its stealth capabilities, making it difficult for enemy radar to detect. This gives the US a critical edge in air combat. 2. Ground forces. On the ground, Russia holds an advantage with its large number of tanks. The Russian T-14 Armata, for example, is one of the most advanced tanks in the world, featuring cutting-edge armor and weaponry. Russia's extensive experience in armored warfare is also a significant factor. Example: the T-14 Armata's active protection system can intercept incoming projectiles, enhancing its survivability on the battlefield. 3. Manpower. The US has a larger standing army, with approximately 1.3 million active duty personnel compared to Russia's 900,000. Additionally, the US military is all volunteer, whereas Russia relies heavily on conscripts. This means American soldiers typically have more training and experience. Example: the US Army's extensive training programs and professional development opportunities contribute to a highly skilled and capable fighting force. 4. Naval power. The US Navy is the largest and most powerful in the world, with a significant number of aircraft carriers, submarines, and other warships. The ability to project power globally through its Navy is a critical advantage for the US. Example: the USS Gerald R. Ford, the lead ship of its class, represents the pinnacle of naval engineering, with advanced radar systems and an electromagnetic catapult system for launching aircraft. Nuclear capabilities. Both the US and Russia possess vast nuclear arsenals, enough to destroy each other and the world many times over. This makes the use of nuclear weapons a last resort, as it would lead to mutually assured destruction. 1. Nuclear triad. Both countries maintain a nuclear triad, consisting of land-based missiles, submarine-launched missiles, and strategic bombers. This ensures a second strike capability, deterring a nuclear first strike by either side. Example: the US's Minuteman III ICBMs and Russia's 28 rupees Sarmat ICBMs are capable of delivering nuclear warheads across continents, reinforcing the deterrence effect. 2. Strategic balance. The balance of nuclear power means that any direct conflict would likely avoid escalating to a full-scale nuclear war. Both nations understand that the consequences would be catastrophic, not just for them but for the entire world. Example: during the Cold War, the Cuban Missile Crisis was a stark reminder of how close the world can come to nuclear conflict and the importance of maintaining strategic balance. Geopolitical and geographic factors. Geography plays a crucial role in any potential conflict between the US and Russia. Let's explore how the geographic and geopolitical landscapes might influence the outcome. 1. Geographic advantages. The US benefits from its geographic isolation, with oceans on both sides providing a natural barrier against invasion. Conversely, Russia's vast territory and harsh winters have historically made it difficult for invaders. Example: Napoleon's and Hitler's failed invasions of Russia highlight the challenges posed by the Russian winter and vast distances. 2. Western Front challenges. Russia's Western Front is notoriously difficult to invade. The terrain, coupled with the strategic depth of Russian territory, gives Russia a defensive advantage. Example: the Battle of Stalingrad during World War II demonstrated the resilience of Russian defenses and the difficulty of sustaining an offensive deep into Russian territory. 3. Alliances and global influence. Both nations have extensive global alliances and spheres of influence. The US is a key member of NATO, which includes many European countries. Russia, on the other hand, has strong ties with nations like China and Iran. Example: in the event of a conflict, NATO's collective defense principle would come into play, potentially bringing several countries into the fray on the side of the US. Possible scenarios and outcomes. Given the military capabilities and geographic factors, what are the possible scenarios and outcomes of a conflict between the US and Russia? 1. Conventional warfare. A conventional war between the US and Russia would likely be a protracted and costly conflict. Both nations have extensive military resources and capabilities, making a quick victory for either side unlikely. Example: the Korean War and Vietnam War are examples of prolonged conflicts where major powers faced significant challenges despite their military superiority. 2. Cyber warfare. Cyber warfare would play a significant role in any conflict between the US and Russia. Both countries have advanced cyber capabilities and could launch attacks on each other's critical infrastructure, communications, and financial systems. Example: the 2016 US presidential election saw significant concerns about Russian cyber interference, highlighting the potential for cyber warfare to disrupt and influence key national processes. 3. Hybrid warfare. Hybrid warfare, combining conventional, irregular, and cyber tactics, is another likely scenario. Russia has already demonstrated its ability to conduct hybrid warfare in Ukraine and other regions. Example: the annexation of Crimea by Russia involved a combination of conventional military force, cyber attacks, and propaganda, illustrating the complexity and effectiveness of hybrid warfare. 4. Stalemate in diplomacy. Given the potential for mutually assured destruction and the difficulties of achieving a decisive victory, a conflict between the US and Russia might ultimately end in a stalemate. Diplomacy would then become crucial in resolving the conflict and preventing further escalation. Example: the Cold War ended not with a decisive military victory but through diplomatic efforts, including arms control agreements and negotiations between the superpowers. The human and economic cost. Beyond the military and strategic considerations, it's important to think about the human and economic costs of such a conflict. 1. Human suffering. Any war between the US and Russia would result in significant human suffering. Civilian casualties, displacement, and the humanitarian crisis would be immense. Example: the Syrian civil war has shown the devastating impact of prolonged conflict on civilian populations, including widespread destruction and a massive refugee crisis. 2. Economic impact. The economic impact of a US-Russia conflict would be global. Disruptions to trade, energy supplies, and financial markets would affect economies worldwide, leading to recession or even depression. Example: the global financial crisis of 2008 demonstrated how interconnected the world's economies are and how a major disruption in one part can have far-reaching consequences. 3. Environmental damage. Modern warfare also poses significant environmental risks. The use of advanced weaponry, destruction of infrastructure, and potential nuclear fallout could have long-term environmental impacts. Example: the environmental damage caused by wars in Iraq and Afghanistan includes depleted uranium contamination and destruction of ecosystems, which have lasting effects on human health and biodiversity. Learning from history. History offers valuable lessons on the potential outcomes and consequences of conflicts between great powers. Let's take a look at some historical examples. 1. World War I and II. Both world wars were devastating conflicts that reshaped the global order. They highlight the immense human and economic costs of great power wars and the importance of international cooperation to prevent such conflicts. Example: the Treaty of Versailles, which ended World War I, set the stage for World War II due to its harsh terms on Germany. This underscores the need for fair and constructive peace settlements. 2. The Cold War. The Cold War was characterized by a prolonged state of political and military tension between the US and Soviet Union without direct large-scale conflict. It shows how deterrence, diplomacy, and proxy wars can be used to manage great power rivalries. Example: the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962 was a pivotal moment where both superpowers came close to nuclear conflict but ultimately resolved the crisis through diplomacy and negotiation. 3. Modern conflicts. Recent conflicts, such as those in the Middle East, demonstrate the complexity of modern warfare and the challenges of achieving lasting peace and stability. Example: the ongoing conflict in Syria involves multiple global and regional powers, showcasing the intricate dynamics and high stakes of modern geopolitical struggles. Moving forward, given the potential devastation of a US-Russia conflict, it's crucial to focus on diplomatic solutions and conflict prevention. 1. International cooperation. Strengthening international institutions and frameworks for conflict resolution is essential. Organizations like the United Nations play a critical role in facilitating dialogue and preventing conflicts. Example: the UN Security Council, despite its challenges, provides a platform for addressing international security issues and coordinating collective responses. 2. Arms control and disarmament. Continuing efforts in arms control and disarmament can help reduce the risk of catastrophic conflict. Treaties like the New START between the US and Russia are vital for maintaining strategic stability. Example: the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces (INF) Treaty, although recently suspended, was a key agreement that reduced the number of intermediate-range nuclear missiles and helped stabilize the arms race during the Cold War. 3. Building trust. Building mutual trust and understanding through cultural exchange, economic cooperation, and diplomatic engagement is crucial for reducing tensions and fostering long-term peace. Example: initiatives like student exchange programs and joint scientific research can help build bridges between nations and promote a culture of cooperation and understanding. Final thoughts. In conclusion, a war between the US and Russia would be a complex and devastating conflict with no clear winner. The military capabilities, geographic advantages, and nuclear deterrence of both nations make a decisive victory unlikely. Instead, such a conflict would likely result in a costly stalemate with severe human, economic, and environmental consequences. It's imperative that we focus on diplomacy, conflict prevention, and international cooperation to avoid such a scenario. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative and thought-provoking, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analyses of global issues. Let us know in the comments what you think about the potential outcomes of a US-Russia conflict and how we can work towards a more peaceful world. Remember, understanding the complexities of global conflicts helps us appreciate the importance of peace and cooperation. Stay informed, stay engaged, and let's work together for a better future and world.